All right, you're now tuned into Cheeky Sport, and this is Vince FM here with myself, Big J.
The CheekySport act.
Like a Chris.
Relegated.
And we've got a special guest in the building. He's an England Hall of Famer.
Wow.
He's got one Champions League.
Wow.
Champions League.
He's got one Intertoto Cup.
Hey, he's got 2 League Cups. He's got like 6 Premier League trophies.
Wow.
He's a BT Sport presenter and an all-round good brother. We got RIO Ferdinand.
Hey!
South London in the building, baby.
Straight up.
South London in the building.
Rio, can I just say something before moving on?
Here we go,
yeah?
God.
Here we
Obviously, you are one of the idols of myself, yeah? And many people know that, you know, they used to call me a young Rio Ferdinand. All right.
And it's funny because Joe always says that to Rio as well. Rio's always looking at
that's
Joe
what I
like,
was thinking. Like,
What did Joe say?
Joe said the same thing. Like I'm like a young Rio Ferdinand.
How can he say it?
Then I watched him play and I thought, raw.
Hey, do you remember the touch he made at that charity event we did?
Horrible.
I'll play it to you after. It's the worst touch I've ever seen in my life. Do you know what? Let's add it into this edit.
Yeah, we'll add it to the edit,
I'll
yeah.
send it over.
All right, listen, let's just get things started. We're going to start straight off the off. So, obviously, we're going to start with all the common stuff, everything that we're talking about at the moment, like the title race for starters. Obviously, it's out of City and Liverpool. It is neck and neck. It's like 1 week, one's winning, and the other week, the other one's winning. How you feel about the title race at the moment, kind of like, and who have you got your money on?
Yeah, it's like the best of the two evils for a Man United person.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
Like, which one isn't going to hurt as much? And because I've seen Man City win before, and I know what that feels like, I'd prefer them to win it. Because I just don't want to hear no Liverpool fans come out
Deal with the
and
beast,
start
you
talking.
know.
A lot of my friends support Liverpool as well, and like they're chatting a lot. But it is what it is, and who are the best team's going to win, man. When a team wins the league, you can't there's no debate. It's like, oh, they're lucky, or they're the best team that season over a sustained period.
Right.
They deserve the right to call themselves champions. So if it's Liverpool, I'll be like, whoa, but listen. The best team's going to win, but I'd prefer City to win. I can't lie.
What about City in the quadruple, though?
No, I don't want that.
Come on, City.
But Rio,
Uncle
if
Pep.
you had a choice between them winning the quadruple or Liverpool winning the league,
Oh, that's hard, man.
That's a tough one.
It's got to be the quad.
Nah,
because you know what? Personally, the way I see it, yeah, of course, I'm a Man United fan and I don't like Liverpool at all. But the quad means that can be spoke about till we're 90 years old, 100 years old.
And they're capable
you know
because Pep has done this type of stuff before. Like at Barcelona, he won everything, man. He cleaned up. He rewrote the history book. So he knows the mentality. He knows how to like coordinate a season to get the best out of his players. And you need an element of like a big chunk of like actually like with injuries, form, etc. So De Bruyne's coming back from fitness now. Yeah. Aguero's put his hand up. I'm ready to come back again. So when people are thinking, you know what, he might miss a few weeks, they're back. So it's looking ominous, but there's a lot to go on, man. Like it's like I remember many times when I played, like, oh, you know what? It feels like we're gonna win like 2, 3, 4 things this year. Then
there was even one season I remember.
It can quickly go like it can quickly leave you like that. Yeah, you can lose 2, 3 games. Listen, they've got 3 games against Spurs in a week. Spurs could finish their season potentially.
Yeah.
I don't think it will happen, but listen. I can see Spurs winning one of them games, 100%. And if they win the league game, it's an important game.
100%.
So,
would you say, Rio, on that note, because obviously you've been in a team that's been going from multiple, you know, when it gets to the stage, going from multiple trophies.
Back-to-backs,
yeah,
regular.
Don't forget
People forget this stuff, you know. Like we went back-to-back Champions League finals, 3 years on the spin?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like that and won the league every year.
Crazy.
Would you not say that you won a few league titles that were very fortunate?
Pardon?
Manchester United.
What?
Say again.
He's fortunate when you won a few titles though. 100.
You wasn't listening to what I said earlier.
That's why I wanted to jump in.
Wait, hold on, Chris. what was fortunate?
Tell me, like,
what year?
when?
You see when Arsenal was unbeaten. Yeah?
Oh, give it a rest, bro.
You be quiet. You're full of fans. You're
rest.
done at it. Yeah? It's the big boy table. You're lucky to even be here.
This unbeaten run with your 42 draws. Give it a rest.
I don't care. I don't care.
Go on,
Chris.
That year when we went unbeaten, the year when you lot done that skullduggery at Old Trafford.
Yeah. Rooney got the penalty.
Yeah, and what you did to Freddie.
Yeah, Lundberg. Yeah.
When you fouled my
Stonewall
man.
penalty.
Stonewall.
Took him out.
Stonewall penalty.
Stonewall. Yeah, I couldn't
No
believe
dive.
it. That year, you won. Did you win the league? No, Chelsea did.
Chelsea won the league that
But they were
year.
lucky. They were fortunate, I felt.
No, man. I always think, listen, the best team wins it. Fergie used to say that to us, man. The best team at the end of the season, they're top of the league. The team that finished top are the best team. That's simple as that because You got to go over the course of a whole season, man. You've got to go everywhere, home and away. And again, luck does play a part with injuries and stuff, but you've got to perform regular. You've got to beat the people that you're vying to win the league with, but you've got to also listen. We used to win a lot of our games, our titles and stuff like that, because we dispatched of all the teams outside of the top 4. We used to destroy them teams before we even got on the pitch in the tunnel. I remember looking in the tunnel sometimes. We played. I ain't going to mention names, but we played, and I just remember a man. You know, when you look over, you look at people, and I never really talked to people in the tunnel. I was focused, and that was it. And I remember looking over a lot of times, and seeing fear, man, and seeing people looking at people.
These lot.
Like them, man.
But seriously, you know, like you see people doing that. You know, like when you're a young kid at school, and you're going, like, you look at your first, you're looking at sixth formers, like,
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
the way.
That comment, innit?
I know, and I knew then. You could look at people and think, "Wow, they're gone."
Did you ever pattern anyone up in the tunnel?
No. I didn't chat to no one.
No one, just kept it quiet.
But did no one try and talk to you and you just ignored
give
them?
it.
It's like Frank Lampard. I grew up with him for the first 5-6 years at West Ham. We were like best buddies, yeah. But I never chatted to him in the tunnel. I remember Jermaine Defoe said to me, we went with England after we played the Spurs or something. He said, "Rio, man, you're too serious in the tunnel. You don't even chat to me." I said, "Because I don't. You're trying to win and you're trying to take the league out of my hands. I can't sit and joke with you and then go out there and play."
But Rio, don't you think that's different?
That's
like,
sick. That's
the thing is, I love that. You know,
That's how it's meant to be like gladiator.
That's what I'm saying.
Nowadays it doesn't happen.
Nowadays it's not really like that.
You see all the tunnel cams.
It's all friendly. PK, listen to this. Gerard P. He was at Man United with us. Gerard PK.
Yeah, of course.
Wicked player, one of the top centre halves in the last 10, 13 years. Yeah, won everything. But at Man United, he was in the tunnel. And he saw Cesc Fabregas, his best friend, one of his best friends he grew up with at Barcelona. Hugging, kissing cheeks, it's their culture. That's what they do.
Yeah.
He got drilled after that. Don't think you can do that here. That's not happening. Do not do that. What are you doing, friend? And then the subliminal ones like, friend, Cesc, friend, messing about. That doesn't happen here because that's just not the Man United culture. Ain't about friending up in the tunnel and stuff. We're here to win and do a job, and I never liked it. I didn't like it. I didn't do. Might shake your hands, but it was a stern hello. That's it.
But Rio, you know, obviously even.
But people are different though. And you have to evolve. That's the great thing about great managers. Like, for instance, Sir Alex Ferguson would evolve and think, okay, I don't agree with that. I don't like it, but I understand it now.
Right.
And that's the difference.
Yeah. Talking about like player rivalry as well, because I've always wondered, like, when you're talking about, like I said, when you see Lampard when you're playing Chelsea, but then a week later, all of you lot have to meet up for England. And it's like, does that rivalry, do you guys then, are you close again when you're playing for England, but then in the change room, etc.? Or sometimes it's a little bit like, right, what you guys done last week was a little bit dodgy. And
you spoke a bit about that in your book, I remember.
I think I spoke about it a lot, and it's really. Steven Gerrard texted me the other day, and it was like, I need to get it to actually realise so I don't get it wrong. But
let's open the big book, you know that? Big Gerrard, big manager now as well. Honestly,
but it will go to this point. It will show you about this point. Yeah, like. I can't. Give me a couple of minutes.
No, that's calm anyway.
These times I'm opening WhatsApps.
I got Stephen in my phone book. It's not Steven Gerrard.
You got Big Mike in it, and you're
I got Big Mike.
This is what it's like. He said, I was laughing the other day about your quote about Liverpool winning the league. Yeah. And I said, listen, it's a bad feeling, isn't it? He said, it's killer, especially on international duty, when you have to pretend that you like 10 Man United players. But it's true. But what he's saying is 100% right, because it worked all ways. I used to sit there and Steven Gerrard as a player, massive respect. One of the best. And I just sit across the dinner table and I'd sometimes catch him looking at me and I think to myself, he don't even like me, look at him. I don't even like him. And if we've got them in 2 weeks, watch when we play them in 2 weeks.
I'm going to get him.
I know he was thinking about that with me, but it's since we've retired that we've all relaxed a little bit and that gladiator vibe has gone and we're all joking and laughing. It just comes out and it's just much more. Jamie Carragher, I know he didn't like me. I know he was jealous of me winning leagues. I hated him when he won the Champions League. It's just the way it is. Frank Lampard, all these. Frank Lampard's my boy. We get on. We do. We grew up together. When he was winning stuff at Chelsea, I didn't even put the telly on. I didn't send him a congratulations text or nothing. It's like he's taking stuff off my table.
What you want? Yeah. Real
So
talk.
and that affected our England team. There's no doubts. And anyone I hear that comes out and says, it didn't affect, well, you weren't winning then.
No, of
you
course.
weren't in that circle of winning. That's the only way I feel, because that's the way it was. We were just bred like that. And like, I remember Fergie, we used to go away to international duty, man. And Fergie used to go, you better not come back injured.
Straight. No, it's true. You know, these days they just say the players are injured before they even go to duty. Oh, what, Lukaku? Now he's injured still. He can't even come. Sorry, man. But I wanted to ask, like, it's like a big. You're talking about the rivalries. We feel like because of that rivalry's gone down, the England team has gotten better.
Yeah,
and the team kind of gel now. So you do
I wish my team was like the guys today. They look like best friends. They look like they can't wait to get there and be around with each other and just all chill. And it's just the environment's set by the management.
Right.
Like no one can get that twisted. The manager sets the tone within that change room, and so Gareth Southgate has to take huge credit because the way he's brought them together. And I think the great thing and the important part of it is that he's watched the likes of Sancho, Hudson-Odoi, etc., all come through the young, and he's overseen that, and he's seen the ones that are coming after them. So for him to bring them through and drag them up to the first team, it's nothing to him because he knows what they're capable of. He's taken them to tournaments, etc. He's seen them at tournaments. They're all winners at international level, be it youth or under 21. So bringing them through isn't a problem, and he's now got a culture that if you can't buy into that culture, you don't come.
We talk about this on the other podcast, actually. Do you reckon it's got to do with the fact that he's been through a lot of heartbreak with England before, obviously going through his penalty issues back in '96, and he understands the media pressure that surrounds the big England side? Do you reckon that has a big impact on how he approaches the job?
100%, yeah. He understands the pressures. Like, I remember when I used to go with England, and one of the manager's first kind of conversation was always about the media. Got to get the media on side. We got to do this. But we didn't, and they didn't give us the tools to do it or the capability to do it, to interact properly with them. Where the England team went this time, they're playing darts with them. They were doing all sorts. They became like part of the England team. So. And then it's difficult for them people then to come back into that building the next day after writing terrible reports about them. That's the difference. Whereas because we were segregated, and the England teams before were segregated from the media's over there, the England team's there, they can chat rubbish all day long because they know they're not going to come into contact with us. Whereas if you chat bad about me, I remember Martin Keown dragged up one reporter once in the airport, dragged him up.
Man, like Keown.
Jump out, go!
I heard you and Oliver Holt. You and Oliver Holt.
Yeah, I was going to drag him out of his clothes.
He said it Sunday supplement.
Is that what he said? Yeah. He was chatting. Like, to be honest, we've finished that problem's not there no more. I think we got over it. But it took me to approach him and say, listen, don't chat like that, please, because you're chatting. I don't know where you're coming from with that type of talk. So,
I think he appreciated it though.
Yeah, because a lot of the times, I think wherever in life, whether it's football or anything, but when you approach a situation and you hit it head on direct, not physical, not aggressive or whatever, but you go to someone and say, listen, why are you chatting like that? Explain yourself. That person then has to respect you for having the guts to come and speak to them, and then now they got to explain, and they better explain properly, otherwise I'm there to get everything out of you so you don't do it again. Yeah.
So we're talking about managers and we're talking about the culture and that back then, We know that you were a very vocal player. If you felt like Saf did something that you didn't agree with, you didn't mind to kind of share those sort of feelings, So, try walk in the office on a mad one. No, it's actually true, So we was talking about kind of like the Mourinho situation. They kind of say that he lost the team. Obviously, Ollie. We'll talk about Ollie being at the wheel now, but we're talking about back then. Wait, don't start. You see Jack, bro.
You parked that car a couple of weeks ago, mate. I said Ollie at the wheel,
Yeah, Ollie's still at the wheel, man. Everything's calm.
He signed a contract, Baden.
It's straight.
He signed a contract and he parked the car and walked out.
Do you know
how rude that is? That's actually bad. That's mad.
Ollie's at the wheel. What do you think about Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer right now? What's your kind of expect? Do you think it was too soon though? Because a couple of United fans are saying he kind of signed it too soon.
Hasty.
Yeah, they should have waited till.
It's always like that, isn't it? Where everyone else before that was saying, why hasn't he signed him? Why hasn't he signed him? Why hasn't he signed him?
That's true.
Like, so you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So, but the only way you can look at it is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer come in there as a bit part. He was just filling the gap for a time being for someone else initially. He came in there and made it impossible for anyone else to come in there. Could you imagine being the next manager to come in there and go, you know what, they're not signed Ollie, the fans are ripping the place down, saying, he's done all this, what's going on, he's got all these results, rekindled the dressing room, the ambience now in the dressing room is much better, much more positive, the players seem happy, different atmosphere there. And a new manager's coming in and everyone's going, where's Ollie? Why is it not Ollie? No manager wants to come in under that.
End of the day,
so he made it impossible. So there was no way they couldn't give him the job, and he deserves it, man.
Yeah.
He does deserve it.
He surprised me still.
So what are you saying then?
What I'm saying is that
He deserves it now. He deserves it.
no, technically he deserved it, but it's starting to go a bit.
Why 2 defeats?
Yeah, 2 defeats. Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks, man.
Exactly.
It's
Two
unbelievable.
defeats.
Typical football fan. This is what happens though.
Thickos. Bare football thickos. Too many
I love this. Wait, let me get the fish. I
got to ask you one, yeah? All right, we always do a thing at CheekySport. One's got to go. I know you've already seen these online and that. The one's got to go.
This one's mad.
All right, so let me go first, yeah? Saf, so Sir Alex, Mourinho, Pep, Wenger. Who's got to go?
It's an easy one for me. But
Say again, Sir Alex.
Sir Alex, Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho, Arsene Wenger. Who's got to go? One's got to go.
That's an easy
It's
one.
an easy one.
It's an easy one for me still.
Jose.
I think.
What? Arsene's
I'm saying Jose.
Jose's got to go, man.
See?
Jose's got to go, yeah?
You see? That's why you. That's why
Not
we
so
respect
stupid,
Rio
was it?
Ferdinand.
Yeah, it wasn't so stupid,
That's why
was
you got
it?
to respect Rio.
Bruv,
because
listen.
he's not a
Hey,
football
Joel,
thicko.
yeah,
Nah,
Joel.
He's not a football thicko. Geezer, you know what? That's
I think you can guess why he's happy.
Listen,
Of course
Rio,
I'm
You're Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
you're giving him life. You're giving him
I
mad.
told you football thickos about Wenger.
Why is that? No, why?
It was between Wenger and Jose. I'm not gonna-
It was, but still.
But another one's got to go, yeah? R9, Messi.
He's my man.
Yeah, you see.
R9, Messi, Ronaldinho, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ronaldinho would have to go.
Thank you. Shake my hand, Rio. Thank you.
Not see us.
Yo!
No, but I love the
Yo,
book. It's hard. But listen, man. Ronaldinho, he was a beautiful player, man, for a couple of years, and but the other guys, man, sustained levels for different, like
The
for
consistency, innit, I
the
guess.
consistency was. R9 is my guy. Like
Talk to us
seriously.
about R9.
Yeah, talk to us about R9. Yeah, because I know that.
If you go on
nightmares.
YouTube, yeah, can I just say something? If you go on YouTube and you put in like
I
a
was
man's
shaking.
clips, if you put in a man's clips, R9's got the best.
Best
He
one.
was
It's
doing
true.
what Ronaldinho does, what Denilson, what Rivaldo, what all these other guys that we can talk about. Ronaldo now, all these guys we talk about, he was doing what they were at breakneck pace. This flip-flap business and the dragging the ball. He weren't doing it from a standing start. He was doing it at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I
That's
moved
what
his
made it
knee done
mad.
as well.
And he
already done his
had
knee, yeah.
one knee. He had one. Listen, I played against him in the World Cup, in Brazil, and I swear to you that I was emotional. Like I was almost crying. Like I was crying. Yeah. I have to admit it.
You know, you have to give it to yourself. He's like, you know what? I'll be real. I was crying.
In the lineup, because I looked down the line, the England national anthem's going on. My family's in the stands. I can hear them shouting, and I look down the line, and I Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Rivaldo,
Mental team.
Ronaldinho, Ronaldo. I just thought, listen, man, I'm just blessed. I'm gonna die a happy man.
That's life.
Would you say Rio has been the best player you've played against?
Not in terms of like, listen, he scored a hat-trick at Man United at Old Trafford, yeah, and
was a
got
crazy game.
Standing ovation.
but like
game.
the goalkeeper give him 2 of them goals. Right? So I can't.
Was it Barthez in goal?
So I can't say that was like the performance that blew me away in terms of wow. I knew it was great anyway, but I've played against other players who have played and I thought wow, like Messi, for instance, like he didn't really do nothing right to say like he mesmerised me 1v1, but the positions he takes up and the way he goes into positions and then's clinical, I ain't seen nothing like that, man. It's crazy, and I don't know. There's too many players to mention to think that there was a great player. There's so many, man.
What was he done like?
Yeah, Zidane, another one. He didn't come in. I didn't get to go like 1v1 against him or anything like that, but the way he just manipulated the ball, man, it was just like he was an artist, and you could see there was a separation of class when he was on the ball, and the game just slowed down, and he was just mesmerising to watch, and he was just beautiful poetry in motion, really. But I mean, I put up a thing yesterday that Real Madrid team we played against. The front four was Figo, Ronaldo, Raul, and it was Zidane was in there as well. Like, and I was thinking, wow. At the time, it didn't even hit me that we were playing against that. But looking back at that now, it's like, rah, I was just happy to be there.
Then obviously, lastly, Cristiano, you played with him, and you obviously Evra has come out and said years ago and said like how his mentality was so crazy, how he was competitive at everything. And I guess that's what's really pushed him.
Out of all of them people we mentioned there, all them names, I don't care what anyone says, this guy is the most obsessed, determined footballer I've ever met. Like, in terms of training, the way he prepared, the way he built a team around him to make sure that he was going to be the best he could be.
Was he always like that?
Yeah, from a kid when he come to Man United. Yeah, when he got there, you knew I want to be the best. That's all you could feel from him. That's all you heard from him. The way he trained, the way he operated. Training would finish, he'd take a bag of balls over there. He'd have leg weights on his ankle and do step overs with all these leg weights. I mean, everyone used to laugh at the beginning, but laugh with respect. Like, what's he doing? He's mad. But the kid's got desire. Look at him, man. Then he left the club World Player of the Year, Champions League. Like, he was just, and that's why he's done what he's done. And we love Messi. We love Ronaldo, but for different reasons. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Messi's an artist. Messi's like, he's been sent from above. He's magic. Ronaldo is the true meaning of hard work will pay. Like, because what he's done, he had natural ability anyway. He was a brilliant footballer. When we bought him, John O'Shea, oof. I mean, he needed new oxygen when we come in at half time. And I said, well, John, you all right? Like, rah. Whoa. Like, what he was doing was like crazy. Like, we thought, well, we got to sign this guy. But it was then the work ethic above and beyond that was just, I ain't seen nothing like that before. And that's what I tell my kids. Don't worry about your ability, work on your skills and everything, but make sure you're the hardest worker in the room. Be the hardest worker in the room, and you'll make it. Because today, I see basic, bang average players who are athletes, who are multi-millionaires, and good luck to them, because they've worked hard. But if you're talking ability, they won't get in the top 100 players that I've seen in the last year or two. But they work hard, and they've got natural things that they've worked with and they've honed. You got to say, listen, respect to that. That's what I say to my kids. Work hard, you will become footballers. You'll sign the dotted line of being a professional footballer, because if you just work hard.
Hashtag RIO motivation right there.
Boy, I'm not going to lie, man. I have to click that one up. What's there? Click that one up for myself. Champions League.
Winner.
Oh, yeah. I know you've done
In
that.
fact, RIO, on this, just before we move on to talking about this week's Champions League.
Yeah.
Obviously, what we were even saying before, you've gone into this sort of period where you've had multiple cups you're going for, FA Cup, Champions League, Premier League. Like, honestly, does anyone in the team, do you prioritise? Or is it every competition?
I see pundits say that, and I think, wow, you either not played at this level, or
Who's that shots at?
I don't understand how you can say that, because you can't prioritize. It's like, I remember we had AC Milan. I think it was the semi-finals. And was it semi-finals? AC Milan. When they destroyed us. We won the first leg and we lost it. But I got injured going into that, and I was like, people saying to me, yeah, but we got to win the league as well. And I'm like, well, we want to win the Champions League and the league. And I was doing everything I could to be fit for the games. I missed them because I couldn't. But other people were saying, you just relax. We got to get ready for the Premier League game. And it's like, in one hand, you do think that, but you can't, because how often are you going to get to the semi-finals? That's the way you have to look here. Like, I might not get back here. And that's the way I was thinking. When we went out that night, I was thinking, well, I hope I can get back here. And so to prioritise, I don't think you can do that as an individual. The manager can prioritise a little bit, because with his team selection and say, right, that player's better for this game. But at the end of it, listen, Pep Guardiola ain't saying I'm going to prioritise the Champions League over the Premier League and vice versa. He's saying I'm going to win both. That's how he's going to be thinking. There's no way he's going to be doing that. And Klopp will be the same. Sir Alex Ferguson in our time was the same. He would never have said, you know what, we'll sacrifice the league this year because we won it a few times. We'll just go for Champions League.
That kind of sounds
because
mad,
it's so cutthroat that you'd make that decision. Next week you're out.
That's true.
What you got next? So you got to be a front. That's why squads are so important.
Man City are quite lucky in that aspect, because they've got so much strength in depth. I think they're going to be able
Beautiful
to.
Squad.
That's why they're a threat.
That's why they're a threat, because they can rotate their squad to be able to compete with both the Champions League and Premier League.
Well, I spoke to Company about, and when I interviewed him a little while ago, he said to me, which was a really important point. He said that they've got to a point now where if you take a player out of their team and bring someone in, any individual, it doesn't affect it. It's the team shape and the team's philosophy that overrides everything. So
Yeah.
That's the good thing that Pep does. It's like a copy and paste, isn't it?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
knows what his system is. He just gets the right pegs in.
It's actually
and
mad
Yeah,
because
yeah.
both squads are so good, and when it comes to it, obviously a lot of people are saying whoever finishes second is going to be the best second place team in the Premier League history. Obviously, you were part of that tough that
Last day.
Yeah, that was one of the maddest days still in my memory of
That's
football. But I mean, on that day, how was that for you?
Are we going
really?
there, yeah?
Yeah, we have to.
we have to, we
Nah,
have
do you know
to.
what? Because it hurts me still.
We
to
got to
this
talk
day.
about the good times and the bad.
I'm happy to go there still.
This guy is a hater.
But I mean, like
Good times
you
and the bad.
obviously you done what you could do, and then you were just waiting. But I mean, was it a case that is pretty much as close as it gets to not winning the
Yeah,
league?
you can't get any closer
Yeah.
than that. Like the whistle, our final whistle went. We've won the league.
The faces, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
funny
then-
because
So Alec looked like thunder.
nah, bruv, that was.
No, but you know what he
It
said
was
after
jokes.
that?
Yeah.
You know what he said after that? The best team talk, one of the best team talks, he's top 5 easy.
Wow.
Is he come in and we were sat there and we had like Smalling, I think was there, Jones and that, a few young players, Eagles and them boys there were in, I think Darren Fletcher was still young and Wazza and that, but we were sat there in the change room, everyone just slumped, man, just down. And he come in and said, listen, get your heads up, look at me, listen. Quiet. He said, listen, all you young kids, young ones in here, you take that. He said, the older ones will take it, but the young ones, you listen, you take that, you listen, you take all of that, what you had outside there, you soak it up, and you come back to pre-season and you go and win the league next year. You use this, them fans there who were cheering when you lost, who had nothing to play for, you use them as your fuel, bruv. I wanted the season to start that moment.
And look at that. Look at
That's what
And next year we won the league.
And look at Sunderland.
RVP.
And look at Sunderland now crying on Netflix. It's all mad.
Wait, that when they got RVP as well?
Yeah, so we got
Fergie
RVP.
was on our mad.
He was on a bad thing.
Because he knew he was done as well, innit?
Nah, don't
He was
try
on our
it. No,
mad
hater.
thing. Oh my
No, but
days.
that's the only reason why I love hearing like Ferdy like reading about your stuff, because you see Sir Alex, yeah, he gave you guys this. It's kind of like a crazy mentality, like winning. You just have to win. You're gonna come back, even if you lose, you come back stronger. And sometimes I just miss that a little bit at United now. I'm just being
A
real.
little bit. You miss all of it.
All right, let's move out of like other stuff outside of football, because we've spoken a lot about football, past and present. We know you're a boxing fan. You know, some of us kind of argue over here about heavyweight boxing and that, especially my boy Jack. He's a big
boxing fan.
he's a big boxing fan as well.
Can't box to save my life, but a bit like football. I can't play football very well either.
But I like it.
But I like it.
Just asking you about like kind of like the whole situation right now in heavyweight boxing. What do you think about it in terms of, you know, Wilder, Fury, the fact they're not fighting each other? You know, the matches. What matches are you kind of waiting for? Like White and Wilder, for example. Is that like
I
a
just
fight
love
you
the
want?
drama that's here now, like because the heavyweight division went dead for a long time. Like when Lennox Lewis retired, and everyone
It was
else
the
was
Klitschko
just
era, yeah.
it was
just
boring.
dead.
Like, and then now, like Anthony Joshua's lit it up, and like he's the man with the belts at the moment.
Do you speak to him?
Yeah, I chat to him. Yeah. I said, no, we've been on like in the same place at New Year the last couple of years as well with our families and that. So yeah, me and him, we get on well. So, but he deserves everything he gets, man, because he works hard. He's diligent in his work. He's very, very focused on his training and outside of training, and he deserves it, man. And I think that he's built a team around him as well that's helping him to execute things off the field as well. He's more than just a boxer, and I think that he's got the potential to really be a true icon. And when I see him, he always mentions legacy. That's what he wants, and he's working his way and trying to shape that. So I just like watching that from afar, man, and just seeing how that develops. But what's great is that he needs Tyson Fury. He needs Wilder. You can't have a huge legacy without having people who are going to be competition to you. So I think he sits there and says, thank you that these guys have been put here for me. So I think Fury's a hard fight, man, because he's
That's his
awkward.
hardest fight.
I don't know where you find a training sparring partner who's going to replicate what Fury does. So by the time you get in the ring and fight Fury, that's the first time you're seeing them styles. But you can find someone who's going to replicate similar to Wilder. You maybe find one who's going to be similar to and replicate what Anthony Joshua does, but you can't find a Fury because he's just so diverse.
For a guy of his height and his build
Yeah.
to move
Yeah,
like
to
that.
move the way he moves.
His
His footwork.
footwork's
Mad tricky.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
AJ will knock him out though. He'll bulldoze him.
I don't know. It's a tough one because
The way Wilder knocked him out. Wilder's a lesser fighter.
Yeah, but
He
remember,
didn't knock him out,
yeah,
by
but
the way.
Fury
He
been out.
knocked him
Fury
out
been out of the
But
ring.
AJ don't
for-
have that power. You know, everyone feels
AJ's got more power
I
than
don't know about Wilder. I don't know
to
if
say,
he's got more
yeah,
than Wilder.
I kind of wish that AJ had fought Fury first.
Okay.
Like, don't let Wilder get that fight, because that's more fuel in the tank. That's more miles in the tank for Fury. More, he's got more. He's back now. Confidence is high. His ring rust has gone.
Yeah, a lot of people don't see it like that. So
he
that's
was
a good point.
he was 70% against Wilder.
If I was AJ, I would have took Fury then, and I thought it'd have been a much more easier fight. But I think it's a difficult fight. But
it's a tough one for AJ, because he's the one, in my opinion, who deserves the higher percentage of a split when it comes to the fight. Because he's the champion. He holds the most belts. He's the biggest heavyweight boxer, in my opinion, in the world. So it makes it difficult for him.
But I think on that note, though, obviously, in which is what Fury talks about all the time, he is the lineal world champion. He is the one. No, he is the one who beat. No, he is. He's the one who beat. No, he's the one who beat.
He's always going to find a way to find another angle.
No, I'm saying he's the one who beat you. Obviously, you know.
Of course, yeah, because
he beat Klitschko first, and the fact is he's still undefeated. So the reality is, what I'm trying to say is, for someone, Joshua knows this as well. For him to be undisputed champion, regardless of what happens with Wilder, Fury has to be beaten.
But you see this lineal status. It disappeared for me. It disappeared after Lennox Lewis retired, because he beat Klitschko and then retired. And then it was handed over to Klitschko. So for me, it's not the man who beat the man who beat the man.
I just think that what happened to the man that's got the most belts is the man.
Exactly.
I just think that's it. That just shuts the argument. That should be the way it was. That's the way we grew up. We saw that Tyson had every belt. No one could chat to Tyson because he had every belt. Obviously, there's another belt out there for Joshua to get. But I think, listen, at the end of the day, if you're a competitor and you've got someone over there chatting a lot, and who carries a bit of weight and also actually gets a lot of eyeballs on, you got to want to fight him. And I don't think AJ don't want to fight him. I just think it's a business deal.
100%.
And they can't get the business end of it done right at the moment. That's the way I see it from the outside.
Yeah, all right, listen, let me get to my last two questions, you spoke a lot about a playlist. You always talk about kind of what playlists you used to play in the change rooms and that. What tunes did you put on your playlist in 2019? Like any, is that a difficult one? What kind of, or even anything that you gym to in that, like anybody, like any.
Bringing up the playlist.
I need to sort of Blackstreet's on there straight away.
Smooth. That's old school though. You know that kid's old school straight away.
You know what? What's it called? I remember talking of old school and slow jams. I'll never forget, man. At Wembley, Mika Richards was in the change room, one of his first games, and he had his headphones on, and I could just see him just like. And I used to just like mess about before the game, play two touch and stuff like that. And I see my man just chilling, and I said, Mika, take a bit. What are you listening to? He had some like, I don't know what, some Jamie Foxx slow jams, boy. Like, I said, what's going on here, man? You can't go back to battle after these kind of music.
What motivated? What tunes did
you trying to serenade the right back?
I couldn't believe it.
But what tunes did you put on to motivate yourself when you were at football?
See, I got Nipsey on there.
Rest in peace, Nipsey, every single time.
But no, you know, when I played, I was a mad Nas fan when I was younger. So I was always
my favorite artist of all time. My favorite artist of all time. Everyone knows.
So I was Nas. Like I was really like, but I liked hard, like hip hop like that. I didn't want too much slow stuff. So I like Jay-Z obviously, but then I liked the English stuff. So like Kano and all guys like that. I was really like, and then I would go to like even like the more bassline like garage music, but like easier than people like that. But it was, I don't know. I like up tempo stuff when I was going out, but not jumpy party stuff. I liked it to be like a real hard beat that I could go out and be ready for. But the problem in the Man United dressing room is that you had everyone from different cultures, different ages. So you had that Ollie who wanted rock. You had like the Nevilles who wanted a bit of Oasis or Stereophonics. Of course. You had like Giggsy wanted that old rap song. What was it again, man? He was because he could sing the whole song, like the old like Mad 5 Freddy or something like that. It was one of them raps.
Okay.
And then you had like so you had such a mixture. Then you had like the Hispanic guys who wanted a bit of that salsa business, and then
reggaeton, all that. A bit of reggaeton.
Did people not have to start putting in headphones, their own personal
No, so we didn't really like that. We had a system in the change room. Okay. That just you put the iPod in and it just played out.
Okay, cool.
And then like Patrice Evra, after I said, you know what, I'm getting a bit old. I weren't bothered about the DJ set anymore. Patrice Evra started going on there, and Danny Bob used to look at me and go, "Rio, what's this, man? What's
Hey, Rio, take the wheel, mate. What's going on? Patrice.
But Wilbeck won't say it now. But he used to say it to me. Even Young used to go, "Rio, man, what's all this, man?" I love you, Pat, man. I love you.
Why, what sort of music was it? What was he playing?
I don't know, man. It was like it was only him and Tevez that were bopping. I don't know.
Quick one, before we move on, do you rate any UK artists right now that are coming up, like 2019? Any UK artists?
Yeah, there's a lot of obvious. Like, listen, my little boys keep me up to speed, man. Like Fredo and people like that.
Fredo.
I loved before he got into problems. J-Hos.
Yeah.
J-Hos was doing some good stuff, but I like a lot of Afro beats as well.
Okay.
But I went Nigeria a little while ago, and boy, the music out there was crazy. Like, so I mean, I don't know. I'm into a lot of stuff, man. Like Mist. I don't know. Like there's a lot of.
No, because I got a question because I want to keep it. Because he mentioned Evra, I really want to talk about footballers after football. Because again, Rio was somebody who kind of used to kind of talk about. What's he looking at? Hold on.
No, Young Bane. I'm just trying to look at the songs.
Young Bane as well.
Yeah. Like Wizkid. Yeah, I like all. The playlists are too much, bruv. Seriously, don't let me come with a playlist.
I don't want to twist that.
Oh, do that.
I like Krept and Conan as well.
Big up the brothers there.
Like them. But you got the obvious ones, the guys that are the ones at the top. Them guys, Dave's like he's killing
album incredible.
Yeah,
so basically, you're a big advocate about building a brand and stuff so you can make money after football as well. Something that I know you're a big advocate of. And obviously we're talking about Everett because he always does mad stuff online and all that. How do you feel about kind of players at the moment who do a lot of work outside of football, but obviously we understand it's to build a brand so that after football they've got stuff to fall back on. So Jesse Lingard obviously got a clothing line. There was a big one when Pogba released his Pogmoji thing and all of that. Like, how do you feel about those sorts of things? Do you feel like it distracts with the football, or is it just, again...
I just think about like the way I approached it, is that I never wanted to do anything outside of football in terms of trying to build a brand or whatever that would allow people to go, he's taking his eye off the game. So when I got to a point where I was very mindful that I need to get to a point where I'm winning, firstly, I'm playing every week, I'm an integral member of this team, they need me, so that when I do start doing stuff outside of the game, I want to build a business and build a brand. And I said to my management team, New Era, who are still my managers now, when I retire, I want 4 or 5 strands that I can go into and become part of. I want businesses ready, waiting. So I had to build with my team. We had to build that, But at no time would I allow them to do anything that was going to really allow people to start going, you know what, Rio's doing too much off the pitch. Because his performances, he's not even playing at the moment. He's not even starting. Oh my God. Like, if that happened, I would have felt so embarrassed. So I just say today, the players of today, the timing of when you start trying to do that is important, because you need to know that what you need to be the best, not on a Saturday, on a Wednesday, every day in training and in the matches. And then, are you playing every week? I think that it's a big part of it as well, because the big players are going to get scrutinised, and you've got to be strong enough to take that on the back. So I just feel that you've got to respect the club, respect your teammates, that they're never going to sit there and go, you know what, his focus ain't here. His focus ain't here. If no one can say to you that your focus ain't here and you're doing everything to be the best, then you're fine. But if your focus has got to be football number one, because that's your bread and butter. That's why you're getting the opportunity to build a brand, to do all this stuff off the pitch. So make sure that's right all the time, so no one can actually look at you and go, you know what, I'm going to start questioning what he's doing.
That's literally exactly what we say. That's exactly what we say.
There's a young footballer watching right now like, 100%. Yes, Rio.
Yeah, but you know what it is though, because I've spoken to a lot of, I mentor quite a lot of young players, and that's what I love. I feed off that now. But what I'm saying is, when I speak to young families who are just getting their young players, young kids, their brothers or their sons or their nephew, whoever it is, they're just entering the game, 17, 18 years old, 19, 20 years old. When you're talking to them about what they're looking to do in their career and everything, I hear the word brand come up all the time. I hear the word, we're looking to build this, and I'm like, get football right first, man. You're here. You've got an opportunity to change your life, a generation in your family's life. Get that right first. All the other stuff will just follow. It'll come. So focus on that first, and when you get that part right, then you can look over there. Far too many people start looking at this massive picture when it's too early. Get the fundamentals right, which is playing the game. I see people talking about brand this, build this. But they can't cross. If you got 10 balls to put in an area, they can't put 6 in the area. They're missing the target. I'm thinking you better start focusing on what's got you here before you start focusing on stuff that you're looking to transcend and to move into. You gotta get it right. It's the balance.
Hey Joe, come listen. We got some 30 things around. Look at you. You see, we're repping. You know we had to rep.
Nice.
We got some 30 hats on right now.
Rio, he needs one. He needs a 30 hat to cover that airline.
Hey, go on, give him the mic. Give him the mic. Go on the mic.
During the World Cup, I was saying, Rio, send me the stuff.
What's the rep?
Man's all looking cool now, but I was like, send me the stuff. I went there to New Era, got a whole box full of stuff.
Yeah,
So
sick,
big up,
man.
man.
Hey, big up. Hey, big up. Listen.
Rio, I didn't know you were doing that.
No. Hey, listen, I'm trying to wrap this up. You man.
We're not doing the calls.
No, we're going to do it after. But listen, thank you so much for coming through, man.
Big up, Ferdy.
Hey, man, serious, man. I'm gassed up.
Thank you for being
Legend.
there.
Hey, listen, man, make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. The Cheeky Podcast had the legend Rio Ferdinand in the studio. Make sure you subscribe to 35 as well, every single time.
Yeah.
5 T.
Every time.
It's called 5, isn't it? Yeah. 5. Yeah. So
we'll put a link in the description anyway.
Hey, that's it. There we go.
Yeah.
See? Sounds like a YouTuber now, don't I? Put a link in the description.
You know that's that real Joe one.
We done, yeah?
Alright, guys, thank you guys. Come on.
Make sure you click that bell.
Make sure you click that bell. We're done, man. Love for that, Rio.
Nice.
Hey, man, leave this love.